when I look at my definition of success, it's not a net worth number. It's not being a billionaire. It's not how much cash flow I have coming in every single month. My definition of success, because if that really was my definition of success, I would have made a lot of different decisions. I would have said no to a lot of certain things. I would have just stayed in my lane and done something for 30 years and let those results compound. And that probably would have equated to some great financial success and abundance. But when I really think about my own definition of success, and I know it's different for everybody, mine is I want to get to my deathbed and I want to, if I, metaphorically watched a TV that replayed my entire life, I want to look at that video and I want to get to the end when the credits are playing and go, damn, that was a hell of a ride. And that is my definition of success. And so the second I feel like something is no longer aligned with my 5-year vision or aligned with that definition of success, I ruthlessly cut it. I mean, it's now, of course, I do it with integrity. I do it ethically, right? I make sure that I'm not burning bridges. My reputation is extremely important to me. I respect and honor, every person I do business with or even come in contact with. That being said, there is a level of what I call strategic selfishness that I know that so many people make decisions based on what other people say or think or historically or socially say you should or shouldn't do. And I'm just not one of those people. I've decided through my personal development work, you would ask the 19-year-old me, I would have say that's me. The person that I've become on this journey of personal development has said, I need to strategically be selfish and go after unlocking my own goals and dreams and not do it the way I think somebody tells me I need to do it. Because there's so many, you could go on, Instagram or TikTok or any of these, social platforms right now and hear a million things that says, don't do all these extra things, don't get distracted, right? Go a mile deep and an inch wide. And there's been a lot of things that I've done that are literally the complete opposite of that. And they've led me to where I'm at today. And I have, in my own definition of success, unlocked a lot of richness and wealth in terms of happiness and fulfillment and also some financial abundance along the way that I probably wouldn't have if I would have just stayed doing the same little thing because I felt like I had to keep doing it because I was already here. And for me, again, I just didn't want to live a life of any regrets. And so I have been somebody that is very open and adaptive and willing to change and pivot and to embark on new journeys. And that's been something that I think has, tied into a lot of the decisions I've made in my business career.
So when you're doing that 5-year vision, do you sit down with your wife? Is that written with your wife or is that specifically for business stuff? And then the second layer to that, the whole family is part of the, okay. And then does that mean that when you are feeling like, maybe you are personally feeling like, or one of your family members are feeling like, hey, I think this is time for you to hang that venture up, or you're saying, hey, I think it's time for me to hang this venture up. Is that something you guys discuss on one of your meetings where you sit down and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling and this is what I'm thinking about this?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's ideally hasn't included the kids at all. Even though, it was, hey, how do you feel about dad selling the hotels? Because they would go up to the hotels with me and we had lots of memories of, fixing up the hotel and the family being up there with me, of us just going up there for 4th of July and just having fun with family and friends and, having all kinds of cool experiences. So it was, they were involved in some capacity, but the real decision was just around, me and my wife and Marie, she trusts and gives me full autonomy to make decisions. And yet at the same time, those are big life decisions. And anytime they, fall into that category, she's always got, equal say. And I relish and want her input because she's very smart and she's, kind of the yin to my yang. So she really does identify a lot of blind spots and things that I don't think about and consider. I move quick and fast and sometimes recklessly. And she finds a way to, again, she's one of my bowling lane bumpers that keeps me in line in a lot of capacities that I need to be kept in line. So they were all, group, discussions that we discussed and said, hey, I'm thinking about this. And and before, anything was really put in motion. Those are collective decisions. Because again, this 5-year vision is not Matt's 5-year vision. This is our family 5-year vision. This is what we are working, collectively together to create. And she is just as important in that vision coming to fruition as I am on my side of things.
That was something that recently I started coming to understanding of. Is like, there's no way, like I'm doing all this stuff for my business, creating visions, creating, core values. And why am I not like doing this for my family? And it's something I've said since really like beginning in GoBundance. Was like each of our kids are kind of like our own little businesses, and we're the CEO of the business. And my goal is, by the time they're 18, is I can just become a board of advisors, and I don't have to be the CEO anymore. You run your own daggone business. I'm done running that business. I retire from that one, and sit on the board of advisors. But yet it never clicked in my brain, like, hey, if you want to run this thing like a business, right? You run this family, if you're running your business to make sure you're getting the best out of it and the most efficiency and making sure that you're getting the best ROI as you can, why are you not doing the same sort of stuff with your family? So like this year, we just started, like we've been talking about core values, but never really put them down. So we put them down on paper. I'm literally getting ready to send it to FedEx to get it printed off so I can have it hanging up in the house and be able to refer to it every day. And like, it's something that, I've got my business core values right here on my whiteboard in front of me. It's like, why don't I have my family core values? Like, what the heck is going on? And so I love that you're doing that. What other practical tips do you have? And you were about to say something, so go ahead and say whatever that was. And then
No, I was just going to say, one, I love that because I think it's, such a cool perspective and way to reflect on how you're showing up and leading your family. David Osborne said this to me one time, and it makes me think of asking the same question in the capacity that you just noted on. He said, if I were to come into your business and follow you around as the CEO of your company, would I promote you, demote you, or fire you? And it got me thinking in terms of self-assessment. I think the same thing in the context of what you just said, as being the CEO of your family, of your household, as a husband, as a father. If somebody else were to come in and follow you around on a daily or weekly basis, and all the things that you say versus what's actually going on, if they were to follow you around, would you be promoted, demoted, or fired? And if you're getting demoted or fired, there might be some, self-reflection and some assessment on maybe where you can step up and lead at a much higher level. Because if that is naturally what your answer is, then, I think there's some honest opportunity for growth there. I can honestly say, and I say this as humbly as I possibly can, I'd get promoted. I'm killing it as a dad. I'm really killing it as a husband. And a lot of people go, man, like that must be really hard. I think what I have found is when you want to be great at something and you're willing to put in the work, you'll be great at it. Mm-hmm. And I just want to be so great at those two things more than I'm willing to be mediocre, that I just find a way to consistently show up as that. And that's not just to say like I'm better than anybody. That's just in my capacity and what I measure myself up against as being a successful, present, purposeful, connected, caring, loving, kind dad or husband. I am consistently showing up as that, and I've got ways that I score and reflect, and obviously those frameworks that we talked about that give me the ability to have a personal scorecard and also a peer scorecard, because it's not always good to grade your own homework. You got to have somebody else grading you as well. And so those are those feedback frameworks that keep me honest with myself.
Yeah, I'd love to figure out a way, because I think I would get promoted as a dad too. Like I think I'm killing it over here.
Yeah, I love
not
that.
every day. I still suck.
Me too.
We all fall down and skin our knee once in a while, but
no doubt.
But I absolutely love being a dad, and if I could figure out a way how to make money just being a dad, dude, I would totally do that. Like if I could, if I could figure that out, because I love it.
I told my wife, man, I'm like, babe, can you? Because my wife's an author too. I'm like, can you just hurry up and just become a New York Times bestselling author and just retire me so I can be a stay-at-home dad? Because I'll be a good stay-at-home dad. Trust me.
Yeah, I think you're probably getting close, right? So to being able to retire yourself by the sounds of things. So, we'll keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy that time. Enjoy those 18 summers that you have. That seem to go away way too quickly. You and I are both, with our oldest, only have 9 more of those left.
It's crazy.
And my kids started school a little early, so I've got 8 of those left instead of 9. So I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, this is no bueno. Like, I'm just going to hold it. Hey, I'm the teacher. I can just hold them back.
There you go.
I just hold it back a year. Shoot,
Problem
sorry,
solved.
bud. You didn't make it. You didn't make it, bud. Sorry, you're stuck. You're staying here with daddy. But yeah, that's awesome.